All right, so you're going to start from your day one. You're going to talk about the history of the internet, security definitions and values. Also going to talk about the introduction to cyber security proper, and then we're going to talk about the CIA triad. Some of you must have been hearing the word CIA for the first time. So you're going to talk about that. Also going to talk about introduction to hacking. Because as a cybersecurity expert, you also need to know how to perform hacking to an extent. Because if you don't know how to hack, I don't think you will be able to secure yourself or any other person online. So we're going to introduce you to hacking from the day one. And then day two, which is Wednesday, November 30th, we're going to be talking about the hacking terminologies. There are some terms that you will want to always, because we'll be using some terms. So before we start using them, you should know how those terms come about, the meaning of those terms. Just like I mentioned, CIA triads, a lot of you may not have come across that word. So by the time we start the training, we'll start hacking proper, we'll be able to understand the terms so that when we use the terms, it will be easier for you to understand every single bit of the training. Qualifications for the training, it doesn't mean that you will have a BSc in any area of study or you must be a scientist or whatever. Even if you are a school, secondary school leaver, you would be able to learn or to be a cybersecurity expert. So it doesn't mean that you must have good computer knowledge or a particular area of specialty. On Wednesday, we'll talk about the hacking terminologies. We're also going to talk about online safety, how to be safe online. A lot of you have been using phones. Some of you have like laptops. You go online, you do this and that, and you come out, and you thought you are safe, even though you add your password, a very strong password. You thought you are safe. Uh-huh. We are going to tell you to walk you through that on how to be safe online, so that when you go online, whatever thing you're doing online, you ensure you are going to be safe. Your safety is very important. That as a cybersecurity expert, you must know how to secure yourself. Whether you're sending mail, you're receiving mail, you're making calls, you're browsing, you should know how to be safe while using the internet. And I also want to talk about the hacking tools. How do you get those hacking tools? In cybersecurity, there are some tools that we normally use to perform exploitations or to perform some hacking or to perform attacks. So those tools, most of them are open source softwares. What I mean by open source software is that they are free. You can just get them online. They are free. But what are those tools and which of them do you use to perform which task? We are going to walk you through that on our day two. And then on our day three, we're going to talk about security building blocks. Yes, how to uh, build a strong security in an organization, as an entrepreneur or in yourself. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about password cracking and then web exploit. What we mean by password cracking is, if you heard of how some persons complain that their Facebook has been hacked, their email has been hacked, uh, and a lot of that. So we're going to talk about how you can do those hackings, how you can probably crack passwords, and also how you can do some web exploit. When we talk about web exploit, it also has to do with exploiting the vulnerability of probably a site, an email address, or a Facebook account. Well, anything can be exploited. So we're going to talk about that on the day two. And then day three, we're going to go practical. It's going to be practical. We're going to be live doing these exploitations, doing these password crackings, installing tools for exploitations, and then we're going to do a lot of practicals on the day 3, which is the very last day of the training. And then the day 4 will have your final exams and certifications. And that also note that uh, also note that in day 1 you're going to have an assessment. Ensure you take your assessment. Ensure you do that, because these are what will be used to to assess your capabilities in cyber security. So finally, we're going to have a final assessment which will qualify you for a certificate, because we want to be sure that what you have been taught, you are able to scale through, and you can work in a firm which will be referred to. You don't just listen. After listening, you give certificates. No, you have to ensure your capabilities. Yes. So that is about. So what is the objective of this training? Our objectives are: 1, to increase the knowledge and awareness about cyber security, to identify African next generation of cyber security experts, and we also have the aim of creating an enabling platform for capacity building and employability. We're also going to achieve a very high job flexibility at the end of the training, because as a cyber security expert, the job is flexible. The skill has a multi-career option. That is, if you want to jackpot, because we'll be hearing the word about jackpot. Some persons will just jackpot, maybe go to a different country, but without a good skill. And the competition, probably you are an electrician and you travel to the UK, you want to work as an electrician in a firm. There is going to be competition, because there are some electrical engineers already there with their certifications and the knowledge about the environment. But in cybersecurity, the knowledge you acquire anywhere, especially the one we're going to give you, you can function anywhere in the world. You will be able, because even remote jobs, yes, you can also do remote jobs. You can work from anywhere, work from home as a cyber security expert. So before you want to jabber or whatever you want to call it, yes, you ensure that you have a skill. And cyber security is one of the best skills that we want you to get, because it's very flexible. You can work anywhere. Uh, you can work in the UK, you can work in the Asian countries, you can work anywhere, so long as you have the capacity to protect and also exploit. And note that the training we are giving you is not just the training we are giving you is not for you to use it arbitrarily or to use it to exploit people. No, the training is for educational purpose, and there is what is known as black hat and white hat hacker. We don't want you to be a black hat hacker. Black hat hacker are those, we'll talk about it in the course of the training, those that will want to take advantage of somebody's vulnerability and then probably attack the person's website, probably shut it down or exploit somebody's password and all of that. We don't want you to be a black hat hacker. Rather, we want you to be a white hat hacker, so that at the end of the training, you'll be able to use your knowledge very well. You should be able to make good use of your knowledge. Yes, so we're also going to talk about one of our objectives also is to solve cyber security challenges and problems associated with the real world. There are cyber security challenges, no doubt. A lot of companies are experiencing different release of information, arbitrary release of information, sensitive information from their site, from their office and all of that. So it is a very big problem in the real world concerning internet. As even everybody today complains. Sometimes you just see somebody's account has been shut down. You don't know the reason. So this is a challenge. So we want to solve the problems associated with cyber in the world. And you can see EFCC and other agencies are always after those who are making the negative use of the internet. So we're also going to achieve one of our objectives is also to connect cyber professionals to the cyber security industries. A lot of industries are looking for ways to protect their system. So, as a cyber security expert, they want you to protect their system. And even though companies are giving out are laying off staffs, not cyber security experts, because as a cyber security expert, you are just like a security man in the front of that big company, and you are the one protecting all their assets. So they wouldn't want to lay you off so easily. Of course, they wouldn't want to do that. And so we want to ensure that we train cybersecurity professionals and then link them to cybersecurity industries. And as a cybersecurity expert, you you can work anywhere. You can work in the law firm. You can work in the defense industry. You can work in the medical field. You can work as an entrepreneur. You can work in the oil firm. You can work anywhere because everybody needs you to get protected. So that is why the course is very important. So this is the objective. We've talked about the timeline. Yes, for those that of you that are just joining, we talked about how the day one, which is the training section, and then which is and we also talk about the day two where we talk about the hacking terminologies, how to be safety online, getting started with the hacking tools, security building blocks, password cracking, and all of that. And also talked about in our day three, we talked about how we are going to make the whole course to be practical. Yes, it's going to be practical, just like we said. So we've talked about that, and also can see some messages, please. I don't know. Okay, so we've actually uh, talked about that, and then we talked about for the benefit of those that are just coming. We talked about practical sections and all of that. And there's an important note that you also have to consider. Yes, services and security train cybersecurity experts and also certify them. Uh, they have trusted partners who are willing to absorb cyber security professionals. And as a result of that, those partners uh, are really on our neck practically. They want cyber security experts, and we have been working for them for probably some of them have been in existence for more than 9 years, and we have been trusted. Some of the partners that we have is due to referral from what those that we have served properly. So if we are deploying you to any firm, it means you uh, we are sure that you can handle it. All right. So the certificate is not free, as you must know. A basic charge for this certificate is the training. Ordinarily, it's not supposed to be a free training. It's not free, but we are doing it free because of the number of persons that we are actually lacking a lot of cybersecurity experts, and we need to deploy those that are competent to relevant bodies who would want to absorb them. And so the certificate is not free. Actually, it's supposed to be, we charge 10,000 naira for the certificate, and the training particularly is 85,000 naira. But we're giving the training free. We're only charging for the certificate, and since the training certificate is 10,000 naira, we actually made a deliberation and then come to a conclusion that we have a 70% discount. You know what it means. So we will be paying 3,000 naira for the certificate at the end of the training, on or before the end of the training. We want to ensure that you take the training serious, ensure you take part in all the sessions, and finally obtain your certificate. This is going to help you a lot. For those that are coming, I think the materials will be ready. Materials will soon be. We'll probably send you the uh, the uh, the recordings of this onboarding section, and then so that you would not want to leave anybody aside. So just like I said, take the training serious, attend all classes, take the assessment, very necessary, and then obtain your certificate so that we will be sure that you know what you are doing. So that is all we have for you for today. We don't want to take your time, and if you have questions, please, you can now ask your question. Ask your question, because we have some few minutes left to leave the training room. Yes, our social media handle, I see the question like that. Our social media handle will be sent to your mail once the training starts. The training time is always 9:30 p.m. a.m. Sorry. The training time is always 9:30, and the training will last for an hour. No.
Can we get the
recorded
version of the training? Sorry,
the certificate is not 10,000. The certificate there is a 70% discount, so it's going to be 3,000 naira for the certificate. Yes, there is a training manual. Please, you can send. Okay, somebody wants to make a comment. Recordings will be sent to you if you are unable to attend, but it's not certain that recording must be sent. But that's why we are trying to see that you make sure that Oasis, you can I can see your hand up. Oasis, you can unmute and
all right, so good morning, Mr. Sala. All right, please, I heard that the training is 9:30 every morning, and I don't really know for others, but my kind of work is not something I can join the meeting at that 9:30.
Can you repeat yourself, please?
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, you said the training is 9:30, as in each day that we have the training.
Yes, 9:30. Sorry, I can no longer hear you. You can also drop your questions.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right. My kind of work is not something I work with my phone because it's a site work. Okay, so I don't really know how possible it to be by that 9:30. I don't know for others, but I'm just saying for myself. Okay, I know it has been scheduled for 9:30, but I still have the suggestion because most of these meetings are often preferable at night. I believe by then everybody must have been back from work, so I don't really know if stuff will be shared like recordings and the assignments for us that won't be able to meet up by that 9:30. So I don't really know how it should be. If you have any advice with regards to that. So.
Okay, we've had a question. Tamashi Mushi Ali, you can make your comment, a question or comment. Tamasi,
Hello?
yes, I can hear you.
Please, when you were mentioning the list of things we are going to be doing internet, so I didn't get the second one after history of the internet. You said history of the internet,
History of the
introduction.
internet, security, definition and values, introduction to cyber security, the CIA triad, introduction to hacking. Don't worry,
You
by,
said
by
this.
the time by the time we start tomorrow, you'll get everything.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. We still have somebody else. We have less than 3 minutes to go. eBay, Ginika, eBay, Ginika. I can see your hand up. You can unmute yourself.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, sir. I will not be able to log in that tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Because I will be at work. Can we please shift it in the night so that some people can be able to join? Or please, you can send us the recording because I will be at work that time and I will not get chance to able to log in that time, that
All right.
9:30 a.m.
All right, no problem. We've heard the complaint from 2 persons. It's okay. We're going to consider that. Enoch David. Enoch David.
Okay, hello. Good morning, sir. Mr. Silas.
Good morning.
Okay, my first question is the certificate, is it coming from or is it coming from a professional organization? For example, like the project management training certificate, we have different outlets that offers the training, but the certificate comes from the PMI Institute. Is that how this one also is? That's my first question.
Go ahead with the
Also
second question.
my second question would be each training, because this is online and you say the training is just 1 hour. Some of us are actually new to this field of study. So would there be like a manual, like something we can read to also better understand what we are being taught on the class in the videos? That would be awesome.
All right, thank you. Thank you for your question. I'll start from the last question. There will be a manual sent to each one, each of the participants. The manual will be sent. And then the training certificate, Services and Security is a professional body. It's registered with CAC and then have been in existence for 9 years. So we have our partners actually know us by our quality. So by the time we are sending you to our partners or you go anywhere, we believe that you will have no problem being accepted for any reason. You have no problem being accepted. So our certificate is authentic, and it when you have a certificate from a professional institution or a renowned institution, is easily to be accepted. Yes, that is how we are. So our certificate comes directly from us in partnership with about 7 relevant bodies. Yes, so you have no problem with that. We will not be able to attend to all questions. You can drop your questions and then we'll compile them, because we see that a lot of persons want to ask. Just drop your questions. We'll be able to entertain them in our next section. Thank you very much and have a nice day.